Hey guys, so this is going to be a little bit longer video. I have 4 things that we're going to talk about today, and today's a little hard conversation, but we're going to have it because it's important. So follow along. So we have 4 things that are common mistakes among parents, and I'm going to preface this with, I do not believe they're intentional mistakes, and I do understand that many parents are swamped. You're coordinating so many things, and sometimes you're advocating and you don't even have the diagnosis yet. So you're advocating at the hospitals and the doctors and all of the things, and then you're turning around and you're trying to advocate at school, and this makes it difficult. And so I want to just put out there that when I understand and I see you, and if you fall under any of these 4, I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to admit to at least one of these myself, because it comes down to there are babies. But I want to make sure that you guys are informed so that you can walk in prepared for your meetings when the school year starts and not make these common mistakes. So number 1 is not documenting events or conversations or promises or anything you were told was going to happen. Document, document, document. If you do not have it in writing, I don't care if you've known your child's teacher since you were 5 years old. I don't care. If it's not in writing, it did not happen. So put it in writing. Okay? Put it in writing. Follow up every phone call with an email. Thank you, Susie Sue for, talking to me today, and we decided blah, 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 and saying you're going to implement blah, blah, blah. I want you to email them every time you talk to them on the phone, every time that you, every time you talk, I want you to email, do follow-ups. Thank you so much. And just document what you guys talked about in the call. Because if it didn't get written down, it didn't happen. And in your meetings, you can have things added to the prior written notice. So when they're going to do any changes or anything like that, you can have that put into the prior written notice. I want you guys to use your prior written notice. And we can do another video more about the prior written notice. Also, another one would be not understanding your child's condition and then allowing the school team to make decisions. This I have heard from special educators as a huge frustration lately, because they'll ask me, I don't understand, why do these parents come in, nod their heads, and just let us do whatever they want to do, or whatever we want to do? Here's why. I do believe that most of us, as parents, desire to help our child succeed. But I also acknowledge the fact that not every parent has the time or has the resources to do a deep dive. In the world of special education, as a parent, whether it's with school or even in when you have exceptionalities in your children, whether it's with the hospitals, your doctors, your therapists, whether it's with the school and their therapist and their teachers and their doctors and their people, no one is holding your hand. So many of you are like, I'm going to go out there and learn everything. And there's so much power behind that as a parent, because you love those babies and you are out there fighting for them. And I would say to you parents, I think you're amazing. And congratulations, keep getting out there, learning all the things, knowing all the things, and showing up at that table to fight. If you're the parent that goes, oh, but she's talking to me and I don't know anything about any of the stuff that we talk about at that table, I'm going to tell you this. I understand where you're coming from. I have seen it. I understand why. And I want to tell you that it doesn't make you less of a parent. I want to encourage you, go to your local library. Prior to going to the library, I want you to talk to your practitioner for your child. Let's say your child has cerebral palsy. Talk to your CP doctor. Say, hey, I want to understand my child's disability more. Could you offer some reputable resources? Keyword reputable resources that I could look up on the internet, or that I can go to the library and I can get books. Can you tell me how to do that? Where can I find out more? I want to understand better. Usually they're pretty great about it. And so if you have a practitioner that isn't, then you can check into other doctors, maybe primary care, different things. And you can go and you can ask the library to help you find reputable resources. So reputable resources are absolutely out there. And it will help you as a parent kind of understand, and you can even do research on how to advocate for your child in their IEP. That will be helpful as well. And I think that a lot of times it isn't so much that we don't want to understand. I think sometimes it's we don't have the resources, or we don't know how, or we're so swamped down we don't have the time. And I think that is something that is important for educators that are watching this to understand, that I don't believe that a majority of parents don't desire to understand. I do believe that a majority of parents desire to understand, but sometimes it's hard to research when you don't know what you don't know. So you know all about it, you think, until you're like, oh, I didn't even know how to think about that. Like, you just don't know what you don't know. And then something else that I would say, number 3, would be failing to keep our emotions under control. So when we are in the meetings, we're talking about our babies. And our babies, let me just tell you right now, I have failed at this one. I have sat at that table and cried my eyes out because it's my baby. We're talking about my baby right now. I bring people to my meetings with me, and I don't need them. That's not why they're there. I bring them because I know there's emotions at stake. And so if I go into my own meeting and I have an extra person who also knows my child's rights, then if my emotions get carried away, they can step up and go, "Psst, Sarah, don't forget." So I don't usually need them, but I have them. I bring them because I understand I don't want my emotions to get in the way. And that's what I want to be for all of my clients as well. I want to be able to be that person, because it does help to have somebody else to go, this is your baby's right. Yeah, this is what they have rights to. And then the last one would be, when I go into meetings for both my child as well as my clients, I always try to give a reminder, if we're getting off base a little bit, that for my child, I'm not raising a 4-year-old. No, she's 4, yeah. But I'm not raising a 4-year-old. I'm raising an amazing 30-year-old woman. And I want my child, no matter if she's 3, 4, 10, 17, I want her developing the skills today that she's going to need at 30 years old. Because that's what we do as parents, right? We're teaching our children from birth up what they need for 30. So as you're in that IEP meeting, one of the mistakes that parents make unknowingly is, all parents have a dream for their child, right? We all have like a trajectory of like, I'm going to raise this adult. Bring that to your meeting. Do not leave that at home. You are helping to develop an IEP to help your child to get all of the tools and resources that they need to become that amazing 30-year-old man or woman. So when you walk into that meeting, I want you to remember that. I just want to again say to all of you, I think that parents are phenomenal. We go out, we research, we learn, and we advocate. You are your child's best advocate. Come to the table prepared. Bye, guys.